I woke up this morning, I had like 10 different people.
Ooh.
Like my regular page, like my Kindle page, all type shit. I'm like, who the hell is you?
Yep, and we in there. That's what we want to know. Who in the hell is you? But damn it, what's good? What's good? Y'all know I had to sneak. Y'all know I had to sneak it in. Goddamn, I fuck with the fellas. You know who it is? Brandon G, Gamecock City,
What's
motherfucking.
happening? What's happening? What's happening?
You know what I'm saying? That DMV
Like
hustler
my regular
himself,
page, like my Kindle page, all type shit. I'm like, who the hell is you? Yep,
and Mi-
we
and
in
Mr.
there.
Novocaine
We want to know who
himself,
the hell
Mr. DMV hustler.
is
You
you?
hear me? Open this thing, finna drop a little in October. Y'all look out for that. You know what I'm saying? But man, we off in this thing, the mouth of the South, aka Mr. Motherfucking Go Live. You know what I'm saying? So we talking about regiments, man, and how you can work either from a raw regiment or from the kibble side. And as always, we're gonna let the man himself, Mr. Novocaine, kick it off. So Mr. Novocaine, my first question to you is what type of regiment would you say you would put your dogs on to start them in a muscular definition, well, to make them have more muscular definition from your raw aspect and your Novocaine blend?
What kind of regimen they eat and they work. I, I, I don't got no real regimen, man. I just make quality food. You know what I mean? Make that quality food and work the hell out of my dog. So that's what it's about. All right, let me say this though, cause let me shake my head while I'm doing it. All you people who think it's all about genetics and that's what it is, man, y'all crazy, man. Y'all crazy. Cause food does play a major part in how your dog looks. And that
Major.
goes from it goes from muscle tone to everything else and how the insides and everything work. Like it's not just genetics. Genetics help in the aspect of you breed the dogs, good genetics, it's gonna give you good muscle, mass if that's what the dogs are bred like. But if you feed that dog potted meat, like I said this one before, you feed the dog potted meat, the dog is gonna look like sloppy Joe. Straight up. But if you feed the dog good quality, like some filet mignon or something like that, you're gonna have a nice ripped up dog. It's not just genetics. Genetics play a part, but feed plays a part as well. And then we can't forget the almighty, the exercise part. It's just one of them things, man. Like don't be sold on that. It's all about genetics, man. Genetics play a part, feed play a part, exercise play a part. Come on, let's be 100 with it.
And see, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? I had to switch headset. So we're going to rock out tonight with this shit. Because a lot of people been hitting me up since I posted that picture of Fat Girl. And everybody was like, man, what you doing, man? How the fuck did you get her like that? Now, y'all all know, you know what I mean? Her father is Masterpiece, right? So what they call him? The Bulldog, right? They call him the Bulldog. It's hard to actually take uh, uh, yeah, that's what they call him, bro. They call him the Bulldog. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I was laughing at Ruben comment just now. He talking about steroid chicken quarters. Tell the truth.
Ruben talking that shit. Hey, Ruben, look.
It can't be steroid chicken cores, Ruben, because you seen how big his balls are.
Hey, look, you got.
And then everybody seen how big Wodie's balls are. And Wodie eat the same shit.
Look, y'all niggas is wild, y'all wild. And then the biggest thing is though, like okay, let's just Ruben on the line. Look at DMX. You can tell like DMX, that's a whole bond. That regiment of him is like a loving regiment. You feel me? DMX was ready to go till his heart popped because he was happy pleasing Ruben. So
hey man, fix your goddamn signal.
Hold on. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. You going in and out, bro.
Hey, but look, don't talk dirty to me like that unless you're gonna take me to dinner, motherfucker. But yeah, the regiment, like I could tell, like DMX had been getting shit like that done with him since he was a puppy. You know what I mean? So you could see where his muscle was. It was in his mouth. You know what I mean? And when you work a good regiment to a dog, and Ruben, go and shut this up, man. Go and shut this up. Go and shut this up, y'all. When you run a good regiment with a dog, like Chris told you, like, okay, I normally don't show my regiment is because it's an old dog man thing. I show you when I'm walking them. That's about it. Because it's a bonding time for me and my animal. You know what I mean? I can actually see movements. Like I'm looking at the regiment down to even how they strain when they use the restroom. And a lot of it starts with me having a two-story house. They go up and down my stairs a lot. I throw the ball. They go up and down my basement stairs, things of that nature. Then when the winter is broke, we walk. When I say we walk for a while. Then we ride bikes. You know what I mean? Then we ride the bike. Yeah, these are all pockets now, truly 15-inch dogs that I'm doing this on. You feel me? And if you look at it, the regiment has to be on the same basis as something different every day to work certain parts of their dog. And when it comes down to feed, like my dogs eat kibble. You feel me? My dogs eat kibble. Now, Fat Girl eat kibble. And y'all looking at the picture? She's 2.5 years old. She eats kibble. She is not, you see the definition of her legs. You see her loins are ripped up in her stomach. You see her elbow to her pastern, from her pastern to her shoulder. You know what I mean? That's a regiment that she's been on. That's not genetics. Because if that was the case, there'd be a lot more American bullies that look like her. That is being in my hands in my time because I was preparing to take them to the 2-up-2 down event in Manassas, Virginia. Well, Midland, Virginia. And I wanted her to be ready and be able to withstand the heat. And see, a lot of people don't know what it is to heat temp their dogs. That's a big part of my regiment. Like I will feed my dogs outside at 12 top of noon in the sun. Where I have no shade in my yard. And I tempt my dogs every day. They stay out there. They do things outside in the sun. Like I push my bullies to see where they are because I know my dogs are truly bully because they have bulldog accents. I can see that in them. So now I have to have a regiment that's going to condition their lungs, their heart, and their mind. A lot of y'all have bred the common sense out of these fucking dogs to where they don't know when to shut down. My dogs have been worked enough to where they'll let me know, oh, they're going to sit. Not lay down, but sit. And that's because they know what their heart can take from this regiment. And when you go to feed, like I use kibble. I use a high-end kibble. I use what you call native. A lot of y'all may not know what that is. It's an older dog food. And it was considered, that's when the dog foods were done in levels. And it's a level 4 dog food. And therefore, by me having such a potent filler, y'all hear what I'm saying now, right? I have such a potent filler, there's no need for me to feed them constantly every day if I'm not working them every day. You see? You only feed, and this is where feed come in, you only feed a dog to the amount of work they do. If you know your dog don't do nothing but lay around the house, that dog don't need to eat but one good meal once a day, if not every other day, if not a few days. You could give him little nibbles, a little leg quarter here, or give him a few veggies there. You know what I mean? You don't constantly see his ancestor, the wolf, just gorging every day, because that's what you're doing with the dog. You're letting him gorge. Every time you feed him kibble, he's just gorging. You know? You had to get that shit time to process. You had to get that dog. What?
Ruben said that's that wacky tobacco kibble.
and you got to know, like, my dogs have herbs in their food. Like, I don't tell a lot of people that, me and the homie, we discussed that a lot back and forth because I felt like, the dogs that I purchased, and I purchased them from two good dog men. I'm still not going to talk bad about Jason. I purchased Kato from Terry, and I felt like, in my opinion, that they were too large in the early stages of their lives. So I felt like that their lungs had been stressed out from having to push such a mass in a small body. Because my dogs are literally small. They're little. And having to push so much with such a tight rib cage, that's having to push. You pushing that muscle and it's pushing out inside their tendon. And if their lungs not that big, you're stressing them out. So I have to feed them turmeric, which is a heavy and anti-inflammatory, on top of their food, which it has other benefits too, because I'll boil it down with blueberries. I use the root, blueberries, a pinch of garlic, and a pinch of parsley in that, and I'll boil it down for about an hour or so. And I cut it with a little bit of clean water and let them drink that throughout the week. Then I make a straight bowl of nothing but the tonic, just like that, with more blueberries and more turmeric and less parsley and garlic, so that the old my older two dogs, which they're not old, but so they can have something that can actually soothe their inside. It's called a tonic, and the feed and regimens have a lot to do when you have a dog. I understand, y'all like to let them hit a tree and let them hang. That's cool and that's great. But what about the rest of the muscles in that dog? What about his neck? What about his shoulders? What about the loin and his stomach? What about his stifles? What about the tendons around the back of the hindquarters? Because a lot of y'all, when y'all dogs be walking sideways, that's because he's having a kink in his body. He have muscle spasms. Y'all ever see a dog get so excited he running, then it seems like that some bitch start running sideways? He caught a muscle spasm.
I don't live around them kind of dogs. I don't know.
Because you got to realize how our dogs are worked. You got to realize my dogs are worked because I know they don't kill and I need them to expel that filler. You feel me? I need them to expel that filler out because it's not. Dog food was meant for us to be able to domesticate these dogs. It was not meant for us to feed them to them every day. It became a fucking product, a consumer product. So, and it became part of veterinarian skill, a veterinarian too. So, like, you got to feed kibble every day, feed the kibble. If this is for my guy who wants the American Bully or who has a dog and they feel like dogs are too expensive. A dog does not, and I repeat, does not need kibble every day, especially if you only walk or play with that dog. Okay? Say you don't want to feed chicken, right? Say you don't. Say you just want to feed kibble. Say you gotta let's pick, because we as a council we're gonna start aiming at all dogs because we try to separate ourselves from certain things. Say you got a German Shepherd, right? That's a big dog. German Shepherds weighing anywhere from 75 to 95 pounds nowadays, Chris. Say you feeding. Let's get what's a common dog food everybody use, fellas. Let's come up with a common dog food. What's common? What pedigree?
Proplan. They on the rise right now, boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's a good dog food. Okay, you feeding Proplan, right? And you got a 75-pound German Shepherd, and he only walks and chases the ball in the yard, or he's a what I call a yard lounger. He don't need but 4 cups every other day, 4 to 5 cups every other day. He does not need to eat every day because he has no other way to expel it other than defecate. You're not walking him or making his body need those essentials from that dog food. So therefore, you're not going to see the results that you would if you would say, take him, say you walk him 5 blocks, take him 10. Or if you're going to take him them 5 blocks, get on a bike, make him pull you. You know what I mean? Or like what the homie do, the homie gets on rollerblades. You know what I mean? I commend anybody on mouth work. You feel me? Hey, Miss Stockwell. You know what I mean? I commend anybody. You know what I mean? But the biggest thing you have to do is make sure you have a regimen in place when you feed kibble. You don't have the benefits of raw to where the body actually acts with the amino acids and shit, and the body to actually break down the food that needs to be broken down. The dog's body has difficulty breaking down kibble because it's not meant for the dog to have on a daily basis. That's why you don't see a raw-fed dog living as long as a kibble-fed dog, because people do not feed kibble correctly. You know, they're going to be like, but the back of the bag says they need to eat every day. And Lil Debbie says y'all can eat one Lil Debbie every day, but we all know that's not good.
Y'all know good and well, don't nobody just eat one Little Debbie a day.
Right. You have to realize, like, this is
Man, there's something wrong with y'all.
It's a carnivorous animal. You know what I mean? They only eat foliage in greenness, in sickness, and in between meals. If they don't feel like hunting, you know what I mean? They'll go grab a little small critter, eat a few branches, leaves, or root, and they good. That's why you don't see no fucking thick ass wolves walking around nowhere unless they're in an enclosure somewhere. You know?
Uh-huh.
And then have the ones in the enclosure that's what you call 50-50 feed, they still not that big, you know? They still not that big because you're taking away the dog's muscle tone. You're taking away the dog's breathing ability. Like when you putting all this weight on them dogs out of sheer pride, restaurant. When you taking these dogs and you putting weight on them out of sheer pride, I'm gonna tell you what you're tearing up. You're tearing up their joints. So now when you wear down a dog's joints, you start whittling away at their life. Because when a dog can't get up and down and move, he starts accelerating in age. Because you start placing weight upon the dog. You know what I mean? The dog's lungs and heart are not moving in a rhythmic pattern to keep the dog mobile. That's another reason you have to watch what you feed your dog and have a regimen. Like a lot of people, you could look at Fat Girl. Does that look like that's just walking y'all? Does that look like that's just walking to y'all? Just stop me if I'm wrong. Stop me if I'm being arrogant. Look at Kato. You know what I mean? And these are kibble-fed dogs. It's just because I have them on the regimen. I let dogs be dogs. I let my dogs spar with one another. No, I don't let them fight. No, I do not fight dogs. But I allow them to spar with each other. You know, that's why I'm a high believer in the tire toys. Y'all all know what they is, the retriever tire toys, the toys that are made out of tires. Because that's a toy that's durable enough to be tugged or pulled or bit and kept. You know, they've been playing with these toys since they were born. That's why they have such a muscle tone now. It's pussy. And in the reverse effect, what I'm doing with the parents, they have and I'm telling y'all that's too much, but I have a rope outside that's connected to a cinder block with their favorite toy. Kato totes that some bitch around the yard. He's 15 inches. That girl's barely 14. And she totes a goddamn cinder block around, shakes that some bitch. That's how I get her ripped up around her shoulders. That's how I get Kato ripped up around his loins. Because he likes to stop and shake in the middle of the yard. So he shakes with what, Chris? When he stops, it shakes. What
Hey, get a good signal spot. They say keep going in and out, bro.
Okay. Y'all hear me now?
Man, put that raggedy piece of shit in timeout.
Yeah, my shit ain't raggedy, nigga. Check your Wi-Fi, nigga. My shit good, man.
My Wi-Fi is great. A1 Perico.
Hey, okay. Hey, y'all know we gonna talk shit on here. Don't let it fool you. That's them the homies. But you have to.
My bad.
The regiment has to be. It's always more than walking, man. Unless that's just your pet. If that's your pet, then always try to double down on your walking. Double down on your walking. If you can, toss that some bitch in the swimming pool sometimes. You know what I mean? Let that motherfucker swim. If you can, if I could get somewhere that was not filled with algae where I live, I would swim the hell. I would swim the hell. The fuck. I wish you had the sound effects, Chris. I would swim the hell out my dog. You hear me? Every day, all day. Because that's not. And what's my term when I say this? Another applicable situation, because not all situations with human and dogs are applicable, but another applicable situation. When you go swimming, right? Don't you always become tired? Why do you always become tired if you swim? Because you're using every tire muscle. That's why they give it to you as water therapy when you hurt joints and ligaments. So imagine a dog that's swimming versus a dog that runs and does a lot of on-ground work. His tendons and his muscles and his joints are taking wear and tear. Imagine a dog that's brought up in the water, running and playing, and swimming and fetching and diving and all the things that come with water activity. So that's going to be another bully talk on what you can do in the water to exercise your dog, you know? Because the more water that dog can wade is the more he can break his chest. It's almost like a retriever. That's why they like working them dogs around water outside, doing gun work with them so they're not gun shy. They do a lot. That's why retrievers are always sought after with straight, good legs, nice shoulder set, you know what I mean, a nice quarter so they can break water. You know what I mean? Break water and cut through. See, that's a water dog, a retriever, a spaniel, even a lot of the cockers. You know what I mean? Look at the muscle ton on a lot of cocker spaniels. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Look at another good hunting dog. Look at the German Pointer. Look at the German Pointer is a badass fucking dog. That's a bad working son of a bitch, but you get him out and work him right. You hear me? Especially if it ain't gun shy. That's a bad boy. That motherfucker will work, break water. I mean, damn near go in a hole or something. And it's because of the regiment, man. I've seen very, very well worked dogs, and I've seen very, very piss poor dogs. Like, I know some bulldogs right now. Bulldogs now. Smush their muzzles. You know what I'm saying? My bad. Y'all get. Oh, yeah, my bad. Hold on, y'all.
Yeah,
Hey, Chris, take over for a minute, bro. I got an issue in my yard.
Huh?
Take over for a minute, y'all.
Take over. He's talking about bulldogs, so I was gonna let him talk about bulldogs. That's something I don't talk about. But yeah, pretty much, man. With the feeding regimen, all you need to do is have your animals, like everybody say, on a good quality kibble or a good balanced raw diet, and work your dog with it. Don't let the dogs get all fluffy, as I call it. I don't really call it flat. I call it fluffy.
I got a question. Do you fast your dogs on raw?
Yeah, I fast my dogs once a week on raw.
Okay.
And then pretty much I fast my dogs so whatever's left over in their gut, has time to actually kick itself out, and then it kind of resets the dog's body and system. Fasting does more than just help with the gut. It actually helps with the immune system and everything. I mean, just like if you fast for a human, your body becomes stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta expel everything. You gotta expel everything. You need to expel the toxins that you brought in your body. That it's hard for it's certain. It's not. See, when people say toxins, oh, it's something that you can't have. Now, once you've used something and you expel it and it's waste, it becomes toxins. You know what I mean? It becomes toxins, so the body has to expel it. And the best way to expel toxins is to fast. Number water, because that's the purest thing on the planet is water. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But even like with me, when it comes to fasting days, like my dogs, they don't just get regular tap water. I actually boil the water. You know what I mean? I take it up a notch. But I also add things like a little bit mineral water, a little bit apple cider vinegar to it. You know what I mean? To help keep them toxins out. Because what a lot of people don't realize is when you got a skin irritant with your dog, a lot of times what I've been noticing here recently, it's actually toxins trying to make its way out of the dog's body. It ain't really allergen or nothing. It's just your dog is very toxic. Y'all gotta remember what y'all put into your dog, it has to come out at some point. So if you're feeding a lot of kibble is made in big old metal vats. Trace metals get inside the kibble. You feed it. Every once in a while, your dog may have some type of skin irritation, and most likely it's the toxins coming out of the skin. So that's why fasting is important, because you minimize that. You allow the body to expel those things and not have to work as hard. All right, y'all stop playing around my head like that. Bones away. It doesn't have to, the dog's body doesn't have to work as hard to expel those toxins, because you've given it a chance to get them out, through the feces. Instead of, working, still trying to digest, still trying to, produce feces and get rid of feces, so the toxins have to come through the skin.
Yeah.
And see, a lot of people don't get that. See, because so what the first thing I do, oh my God, you don't feed your dogs every day. That's so cruel. That's so cruel. I said no. I said because one, my dogs don't eat raw, so that's not so. So they don't. The motherfuckers don't eat kibble every day. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit up there and eat motherfucking Captain Crunch, but breakfast lunch and dinner. You feel me? Which that is a.
Why not? Captain Crunch good, no?
It's good. You feel me? It's good. It's good in the motherfucker. But keep eating that shit throughout the day, all that goddamn shit. What you gonna do? Shit. What you gonna do? Gonna shit. And which I get with the main thing, especially in with the dogs we dabble with, what's the main thing they say? Damn, my dog shit right. Damn, my dog shit right. Damn, my dog. Cuz, stop feeding them. Stop eating Origin. The major thing they love to feed you. Still ain't supposed to feed that shit every day, especially not that high-end shit. Evil,
Mm-hmm.
Evil, Origin, Taste of the Wild. That's really dog food that you're not supposed to motherfucking feed every day. And if you
But
And
do,
that's
there's something else that I notice a lot of people with bullies do. You know what I mean? More so than other breeds, and that's free feeding, man.
I don't
I am
understand
not
that.
a fan of free feeding at all. Only time I ever
Yeah.
really free fed a dog is when I used to feed kibble and the bitch was pregnant. That's it.
now
She
I'm
can
gonna
eat
tell you.
whatever she wants. But other than that, I don't do that free feeding stuff.
Now look, now look. Y'all know I ain't no hypocrite. I used to free feed, but now ask me what I used to do when I free fed. These motherfuckers ran on bikes every day. You hear me? Walked every day.
And that's
Outside.
another thing though, because like when I see
What the hell going
I see
on?
these people free feeding and they don't work their dogs. You know what I'm saying? You let your dog take in 2, 3, 4,000 calories a day and not burning off shit. You know what I'm saying?
And that,
And wonder why they dogs is dying, why they dogs can't breathe, why they dogs can't move. You know what I'm saying? And
They
wonder
have
why
lucky dogs. They got companions.
Oh my gosh, we're not gonna start on the
hold
companions.
on. Look. But then they think because they got hold on. I'm gonna really make y'all laugh right now. But no. Their dog 17 inches and has to take a leaning tree and catch a ball. That's work.
Oh,
That's work.
oh man.
That's work. I gotta hold it. The biggest thing I tell people, when you got dogs that do mouth work, that means you need to move on to another exercise to start working the rest of the dog body. Because we have a breed that has a strong jaw structure. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
people want to know why. Okay, you see that like Don Bronx. You know what I mean? Don Bronx dog is so fat and so well maintained and put together. And I don't care that they game dogs. To where this
Yeah,
man,
these dogs is nice.
to where the motherfucking dogs have to be in true to life impact crate. You feel me?
Yeah.
That means you have a specimen. When you have to have an impact crate for something, I've seen German Shepherds in impact crates because that's what the military uses. Because of the caliber of the dogs that they're using. Somebody must be in my goddamn yard. That's not how she act like that. God damn it. Hold on, because I hate the dogs that stand and bark. Hold on, y'all take over for a minute. I hate dogs.
Yeah. So, what were you talking about?
Okay, I see him. Good girl. I see him. Good girl. Come on, let's go outside. I see him. Good girl. Good job. Come on, I see him. Hush, just watch.
Good job. I like to breathe too. Family air.
Yeah. Yeah, my bad, fellas. I'm in the midst. Like, I don't break my training when I do training. You know what I mean? That's part of my regiment. When they young, they stay. We stay.
You might ask a question, bro.
Yeah. The homie Joe said, I free feed my litters until 8 to 10 weeks. How do you guys feel about that? Wonder if I may be doing too much or if it's healthy due to the calories constantly being burned by the puppies always playing and running, etc.
I mean, I would let, if you don't get that goddamn feedback away with their laptop, boy.
My bad.
To me, depending on the kibble you use, and I know that you run a lot of hurricane blood. You feel me? So what you doing, bro, with the type of blood you got, yeah, you need to keep doing what you're doing, because you got a whole different type of dog when it comes to that. Because I kind of been studying the way the homie built the hurricane blood, and he, you know what I'm saying, he only taught me the tip. I ain't gonna sit up there and act like he taught me everything, but I paid attention to pretty much what he said that he did to introduce to make the hurricane blood. And that type of blood that you got going on in your dog, yeah, you need it because your metabolism is built up genetically by the way he bred his blood. So I say, yeah, keep doing like that. And if you're gonna do it like that, you free feed, you know what I mean? Turn it up. I say turn it up a notch. Throw some toys out there. Let them kind of spar with each other. See if some of them like water. get you a little wading pool, throw some water in there, throw a toy in there, let them wade through that water. You know what I mean? With that little bit of play, that sparring, people don't understand. As long as you take control of it, sparring is a beautiful thing that will always keep them in shape because that's a natural exercise for them. They ain't hear me. Y'all don't hear me. My phone must have died. Let me stop. They don't know nothing about natural shit. They don't know nothing about letting dogs be dogs, Chris. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, my thing for the free feeding, I don't free feed. I can't free feed. I feed raw food. So pretty much I gotta feed my puppies like every couple of hours while I'm home, or every hour while I'm home when I'm at work. I kind of overstuff them, and they can last a good 8 hours.
Yeah. So now Joe, you got both. See, with me and Chris, you got both aspects. You got natural feed, and I know how to use kibble. Kibble is not something you free feed. I learned that the hard way. I'm not telling y'all because I know everything. I'm telling y'all from my mistakes. You feel me? I had to get an necropsy on a dog when he was older, and they could just tell me how his colon was just cluttered up, Chris. You hear me, Chris? Cluttered up. Yeah. Corn and his intestines just. Bro, I felt bad, bro. You feel me? And they wasn't eating no cheap shit. This was when Diamond Premium in the green and yellow bag was hot. You feel me? Remember that was before motherfucking grain-free dog food. Remember everybody was on that Premium Diamond because what was happening? There was too much vitamin A in the red bag of Diamond. That's what was killing dogs. You know what I mean? They had too high of a vitamin count, and it was turning to poison and making the dog's pancreas poison the dog. You know what I mean? So I looked at that, and she's just like, nah. She's an old vet. I'm talking about old vet. It's something my granddaddy it's something she just made stick in my head that my grandfather taught me. If that dog not doing nothing when it's eating kibble, it don't need it. And I mean, if that dog ain't motherfucking no Schultz dog, if that dog ain't no fucking police dog, if that dog is not a Burmese mountain dog, rescue dog, a Saint Bernard, only thing that needs to eat constant every day is a big dog because it needs that shit to walk around. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. And like I tell y'all all the time, even with my raw food, the way I feed my dogs are on what I call a conditional feeding program. Like if y'all paid attention between last night and today, or yesterday and today feeding the dogs, or the day before, whenever I went live feeding the dogs, a couple of days ago, my dogs, they ate real good. You know what I mean? Ragnar had like 4-5 pounds, ate real good. Today, Ragnar only got about 1.25 pounds. The other dogs got a little bit less because I don't need to feed them the same amounts all the time because they get quality nutrition. I know what my dogs get. They absorb at least 95% of it. So they have very little waste. So if you think about it that way, you don't need to always pack in that much stuff if the dog is not actually, competing in some type of event right now.
Right. And see, and that's exactly why, I got an inbox a few minutes ago. Somebody asked me, what's special why Fat Girl look like that. And what's special is that she was getting ready for September 16th, that just passed the international. I wanted her to be able to withstand, you know what I'm saying, withstand the heat there. I want her to be able to withstand the sun, you know what I mean? And I know she couldn't come in there with the weight that she currently was at. That dog can get up to 70 fucking pounds how small as she is.
Yeah.
Kato, top weight in my possession, I don't know what top weight he was in leave it. In Terry's position, I know what it was. In my position, his top weight was 75, 80 pounds. The fact that I know these dogs can amass that weight, that ain't a good thing. You know what I mean? I be seeing these goddamn dogs, you know what I mean? I be like, good, well knowing, okay, yeah, you got a 14, 15-inch dog. Why the fuck is he 70 pounds? Like, what the fuck? You can still have them same attributes that y'all love from fucking Dak, but had him fit. Like, in the second portion of the show is going to talk about breeding here in a minute. When you want
I don't know nothing about that.
what about breeding? I don't know, man. That's that ass dog you got over there.
I don't know nothing about that.
Oh yeah, shout out.
They telling me I got game dogs, so I don't know nothing about breed.
Look, and shout out to Mr. Hermes, man, because if you hear this, Mr. Hermes, this next section is about you and about how they taking your version of the Bulldog Geek and started trying to call it the American Bully. Because if y'all realize something, we to the second portion of the show. And that's why I said tune in. We're going to be talking about a whole bunch of shit. Y'all know I get like a fucking frog on a lily pad. I get to jumping. You know what I mean? If you know how these dogs are made and built, right? You know how to put them together. And we're going to build off of what Chris said. You feel me? Come on some music. If you looking at the way Chris's dog's built, look at his dog King Kane, right? Look at his creation. That's what I call her. I call her his creation. Look at his creation. Then look at his dog Mayshawn. Look at the stop in the eyes and the nose set. You can see King Kane and all them dogs in his creation and has other guard breeds. So for him to be able to dominate that means that man knew what he was doing by researching his male's blood and what type of dogs and even what type of dogs to actually put together to make a difference. You know what I mean? And when you come down to breeding, like, think about what Razor's Edge main thing was back in the day. Okay? It was females do what? Shit on the males, right?
Uh-huh.
Look at certain dogs. Now, when y'all started first following me, fellas, what I always told y'all, study the bulldog, and you will beat anybody in the American Bully. You feel me? Study the bulldog, not the pit bull, but the damn bulldog, because there's different facets to these dogs. There's different bulldogs. You know what I mean? So look at the clean feet. This is where you can tell that they went away from Ragnar and Wodie's built. The cat feet, the cat clean feet. You feel me? That's Staffordshire shit. That's terrier shit. You know what I mean? But they didn't realize that those dogs were actually more bulldog, that terrier was bred for athleticism. Nothing else. These dogs were not, we Americans put the terrier on the end of them. Where the dogs come from, they wouldn't call them dogs terriers, they would call them dogs pit bulls. But when we got a snippet of their history from John Colby, we ran with what he thought instead of knowing what the actual built of the dogs were, because he didn't create them. He was just a person to archive their time because he brought them here. Because he studied what he needed to study because he knew the true origin. That's why couldn't nobody beat them for over 100 years. That's why he was in everybody's pedigree, because he knew the true origin. He knew what to throw to his dogs and not throw to his dogs, you know? So when you get down to say, let's take their favorite dog, Rocco, right? If you can't tell me if you can't tell me that's not a Hermes Bulldog, I don't know what the fuck is. You feel me? In the way you know it's a Hermes Bulldog is the fold over the pastern in the splay feet, where they swear Blue is easty west and she got splay feet. She just sit wide in the front. You feel me? Easty westy is when the feet are completely turned on top of the pastern. You know what I mean? That is an English Bulldog trait. Easty westy comes from an English Bulldog. Splay feet come from a certain part of the Bulldog that's used in the Bulldoggie. If you look at David Levy, the way they broke him down, the Bulldoggie that was used to be recreated here was 1/16th pit bull. So is there not pit bull still in the dog, in the American Bully? Yeah. Because it was the basis. That's where you get the attitude, the muscle tone, the brain function from. Bulldogs are smart, but they're smart brutes. They think with their muscle versus to where they want to dissect. You know, and I know some fur moms is listening. I know you're like, well, that's not true. Any dog would pick up certain things, but it's a dog on his own with somebody that's sitting home every day with children and things of that nature. The dog has...
Slow down, bitch. Slow down.
Slow down, Tito, damn! They don't know nothing about that. Remember that shit, Chris? Slow down, Tito, damn! And if you go get a Hermes dog, I'm going to tell you bully people something. This is how, that's pretty much how Dax was created. He's a Hermes bulldog taken to some other bulldogs. Crossing a Hermes dog into an American bully is the best way to go because he's already a scatterbred dog himself. Now, as thick as his blood's gotten as time's gone over, he would probably be telling you the best what to do because if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me, but I think flaws of his line are tight skin and a straight muzzle. Am I wrong, Chris?
I gotta look into that one, bro.
Yeah, I'm not mistaken because I knew he wanted the traditional bulldoggy look. You know what I mean? He never wanted to get away from the function because his dogs are badass. When I used to see the old heads with them dogs back in the day, that shit used to make me want a bulldog, and I would always hear his name. Man, it's a Hermes bulldog. It's a Hermes bulldog. You know what I mean? And the Hermes bulldogs that I've always bumped in through the years, I know in my time on the planet that was, you know, they didn't really have a smushed in face like a American bulldog. They had some type of nice outer jaw with low hanging tendon. You know what I mean? To where you saw the bulldog, but it still could breathe. She could still run. She still would function.
Hey, Esther got a question, bro.
Who?
Esther. She said, "What advice would you give me on breeding? I'm going through it with my female, always moving. Every time a male is about to tie with her, she only has another week for her heat." Esther, my advice, and then Tori can get his. My advice is go and look for my breeding video that I actually did with King Ragnar and Mei Shang. And you know, one, you gotta kind of let the dog do her. I'm that type of breeder. If the bitch don't want to breed with that man, I'm not gonna force that bitch. Like, having puppies ain't that goddamn important, you know. But watch that video. That video, Mei Shang at first, she was moving around, did a whole lot of running from him, and then when she was really ready, she allowed him to mount, you know. And it was like in her last 3-4 days. You know what I mean? So you gotta, you know, be patient. You know, let the female tell you when she really ready. If she natural tied already, she'll do it again when she ready. You know what I mean? And you know, also when you watch that video, you'll see how, you know, my whole demeanor with the dog is chill. You know, I'm calming both dogs even before I'm allowing them to get next to each other. I'm making sure both of them very calm and very laid back and very chill at the moment, and it just makes it easier to breed them. But I don't just tie them together and walk away either. I stay there and I continue to, you know, to soothe both dogs. Tell them, good job, calm down, it's all right, good job.
Cause look,
you know what I mean?
And cause see, you know, when you walk away from shit like that, you know, we saw a video and that caused a lot of trauma. You know what I mean? You get it?
Yeah.
So certain people don't need to be breeding because, like, I knew I was not going to tie my dogs together because of their size. You know what I mean? They're too little. So I said, okay, what I'm going to do is I felt like I got quality at the time, you know, before I started watching Fat Girl Progress on mine. That's a whole nother horse. But I did everything surgically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I documented the whole thing and I showed everybody, you know, because I wanted to actually see what I was getting into, you feel me, when I was messing with the blood, because, you know, I saw a few masterpiece offsprings that I was really, you know, ecstatic about. And I was like, wow, this is a nice dog, and I actually, you know, was, you know, great, you know, grateful enough to see some of the dogs, you know, get some of the video of the dogs working, and I know his blood can do shit, you know what I mean, just depending on what you take himself to.
I got a question for you, since, you know, we're talking about breedings and shit, you know. I see more and more of people talking about having to do C-sections in this American Bully game. How many C-sections do you feel like a female should have?
None.
Do you feel?
One. If you have one, you have to thank Chris. If she has to have one, and big dogs have to have it sometimes too, because it's depending on how they click and what you get from the animal. If a female, it depending on, it's really like this. Let me break it down and just keep it all the way biblical. You're really not supposed to have any unless it's an emergency, okay? But if you are trying to be a breeder, your dog should not have no more than two. And to even think of a second one, and I mean think. Is my signal coming in clear? To even think of a second one, you have to completely watch her for an entire year to see how she healed from the first one. Anything, the smallest thing, because the homie up here lost his dog because she didn't heal right from her previous C-section. Because when they don't heal right from the previous C-section and you breed them again, it's not say that they're attached to her walls to get the proper nutrients she needs. That's why a lot of real breeders and old school dog men, I ain't gonna say old school, established dog men, aren't fans of C-section because the female's done after that. So a real dog man, she's done. Once that belly get cut, it's OV for her. You know what I mean?
Why do established dog men, after it happens once, why do they say it's done? That's the part you can't miss.
It's because what can the puppy attach to? You tearing up a uterine wall. You're not a uterine wall, but you're tearing up a stomach lining where they're attached to, where their eggs fall. So you cause her fertility to come in question. You cause her, especially if you're not doing a surgical where they're actually opening it out and taking the uterus and placing the specimen in. So now, if you're not even going that route, because real dog men always looked at toy breeders to do things of that nature. That's a true surgical AI. It's taking the uterus and the actual uterus out and injecting your specimen sample in there and placing it back in her. That's why I laugh when a lot of y'all saying y'all be doing surgicals when y'all just be doing transcervicals where you getting you know what I'm saying? Because they love to throw them big words and make it seem like they spending all this money, bro. You feel me? So they could try to tax these people. I'm dropping real shit on y'all. They're not giving these dogs surgicals like they think they are, because surgicals cost a lot of money, because that is an actual operation.
I got a question for you. You know, I like to stir up the pot a little bit. You know what I'm saying? All right. I also see this in the bully game. How come breeders feel like if their dog has to have a C-section that it should be on the buyer's expense?
It's a juicing game, bro. It's like it's a juicing game. It's a juicing game.
All right. I'm just feeling, because me personally, I feel like you know that same as doing everything to set up a breeding. I feel like that's what you take on to be a breeder. You feel me? Yep. And it doesn't necessarily mean that has to go on to the buyer's expense. You feel me? But I see a lot.
My bad. I mean, because they gotta stop trying to look at it like it's dope. They want to spend. They want to buy cheap and sell high. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that means they want to do the most, like a lot of Dallas breeders. A lot of Dallas breeders gonna get mad with me, but a lot of Dallas breeders don't do nothing but drive a couple hours into Oklahoma and pay $250 for them C-sections. Come back to Dallas and charge y'all $2,500. They kill it every time. They kill it every time. It's a vet in Oklahoma. I ain't gonna say his name. I ain't gonna throw y'all all the way under the bus. But it's a vet in Oklahoma. $250 now. You feel me? C-sections all day. So shit, the way they balling off a lot of y'all because y'all don't want to do research and listen to real people, they balling off of y'all. They balling off y'all, getting whipped, getting chained, taking pictures and shit with the funny looking glasses, you know. Because
hey, Esther, you said it's frustrating because she be flagging, the male be signaling she is ready. It ain't on the male, it's on that female.
Yep. I know
a female gonna flirt and flirt and flirt and flirt and flirt, and when you least expect it, she gonna let him tap it.
Yep. And then you do got exceptions, you know, you do got exceptions. You got exceptions where you do got some more alpha ass bitches that's gonna fight down to the dime.
Yeah.
That bitch gonna
Hey, ask Esther. Well, Esther, how long has your dog been flagging or in heat or bleeding or whatever? You know.
And Esther, this ain't a thing. Hold on, let me say something real quick, y'all. And I ain't getting off subject. I know I tend to do that, but this is things that you don't have to guesstimate with. Esther, you can't guesstimate. Oh well, I think 22 or I think 23. This shit matters down to the dime when it comes to dogs, man. So you kind of gotta be on the head with that type of shit.
Yeah. But if you using that same bitch that just had a litter, she know what she doing. She know what she doing more than you. And I ain't trying to be funny about it. I'm just saying the experienced female dog know more than the actual human. She know when she ready and when she not. And then she also know if that male is quality or not.
Yep, I was just gonna say that other male you had, Esther, look like he'll take some. He look like he'll take some, goddamn. So when you got that type of male, you know, and I hate to sound, you know, that's crude like that, but when I say take something, he'll take an ass whooping to make. You got to see that's the type of stud I like. I got Kato like that. I've tried to breed Kato to the dog, but she was just downright kept fighting him, and the dude ain't had no muscle, you know. But he fought her to mount her. You know what I mean? Like he literally stood his ground, little as he is, and fought that dog to get on top of her. That's a true stud. When you had a male where she growled, he jumped back. That dog don't want her on top of him. I mean, she don't want him on top of her. Dogs want dominant, especially a dominant bitch. A dominant bitch want a dominant male on top of her. That's gonna make her be submissive. Some dogs want to be put in their place. I know that shit sounds crazy, but it's true. Like fat girl like that. Fat girl play with another animal all day long. She'll check another female dog. When Kato come in the room, she sit. She sit or lay down, or she move when he comes. My females that's in here now, she'll push them back. It was another female dog here with her. She would try to fight that big ass dog when her food was out. You feel me?
Yeah.
But that's why she didn't mind him getting on the back. When I had that game changer son here, she whooped his ass out my crib, bro, for trying to mount her. Because he was submissive. He was too submissive. He would sit there and let him fuck up. Shit. When she kind of finally came in heat and Kato went to mount her and Kato bit her, I had to go get my dog, bro. Like, he even tell my dog to ass up. You feel me? But what I know, by the time I got there, when I seen what he was doing, he wasn't trying to hurt her. He just was making her submissive, turned around, she let him out. And the thing is, you gotta make sure, like the homie told you, the atmosphere gotta be set too. I know that shit sounds corny as fuck. I know it sounds corny as fuck. I know that shit sounds corny as fuck because it sounds corny as fuck coming out of my mouth, but that's not the way I feel.
Turn down the lights.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I saw that video from a so-called dog trainer, and you let the motherfucking and you got big ass dogs, bro. You got big ass dogs home, boy, and you just walked away. So you just want to prolapse vagina. Let me tell you, when you walk away from two tired dogs, you risk a prolapse vagina, capillaries busting all over you, man. You feel me? And then we all know the dog in the bully game who has bust capillaries. That's more than likely what it's from him being yanked on from a female. You know what I mean? That's how times out of 10 you get blood in the semen, and it's not in the semen, but it's on top of it. Because if you get blood in the semen, it turns the semen a certain color, and the blood chokes out the sperm cells. You feel me? And that's why I laugh when people used to try to use this against this dog when there's a difference between capillaries and I hope I'm using the right word, capillaries on the side of the shaft breaking and not bursting, because if they burst, the dog will be constant leaking. It it would be so much blood that it would start to seep inside the gelatin walls of the semen. Because a lot of people don't realize semen is inside a gelatin wall. Those what I call warheads are inside something, that gelatin. So that gelatin has to secrete and go through the mouth of the uterus to fight her oil to get towards her egg. So this whole time, when you have things doing like that, letting dogs walk away, you causing more blood to be put inside your female. So when now you got his blood with her blood during her period mixing inside the secretion, which is I call oil, with now mixing with the gelatin exterior or exoskeleton of the sperm. So now if you don't calm these dogs down and make sure they ready, it starts to cause problems.
Stop, get down.
That's why a lot of dogs don't take. That's what's going on inside your dog 9 times out of 10 when she don't take. You had too much going on in where she wasn't calm. Because she's to hold him. He's the contract. When he's still constricting, you're going to see his butthole. His butthole going to steady pulsate. His butthole going to pulsate. You feel me? I hate to be crude again, he's dropping his load. You know? She's to stand there and be calm so she can take it. A man is a man is a you know what I'm saying, a giver. A female's a receiver. What happens when you shake a goddamn receiver? It can't take shit too well. So your reception, guess what? Which would be your offspring, gonna come out fucked up. So you know what I mean? You might when you ever see a dog that got good cognitive function, then he just out the blue might run into something. That's 9 times out of 10 what happens. You know? And a lot of people don't look down in the breeding like that. I gotta go get me 2 dogs. You feel me? I gotta go get me 2 dogs. I'm gonna just let them breed, you know? My dogs was too short. You feel me? Too short. So I knew I was not finna risk none of that. You feel me? Them pulling on each other. No sorry, bobtail. You know what I mean? Nuh-uh, I wasn't finna risk it. Them just being little like that, pulling on each other. And you know, I'm not finna risk prolapse or him busting capillaries on him to where if he could never natural tie again, or it would be a problem with him natural tying. So that's why I tell people, when you breed, you got to be set up for that shit. I found quiet places behind stores versus the way I see some of y'all always trying to breed in your yard with dogs barking in. If you need a rape stand, you doing too much. And I'm doing way too much. And I'm, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna be no hypocrite. I had to use a stand before, and my puppies came out fucked up. You feel me? I ain't gonna lie.
I had to use a stand. What? 20 years ago, bro. Trying to breed 2 hot ass dogs. The bitch was more hot than the male, so that's the only way they was gonna breed. Right. I didn't want that bitch to kill that male. But after that, I said I'll never use this again because I felt bad about it. I was like, I literally let this nigga rape my bitch.
Yeah, that's why they call them rape stand. Like I said, I hate to be crude. We trying to clean up. You know, how we doing the show. But in when you do all that, like I see, that's why I don't get, especially in our community, how people are being duped to think that you think all these dogs came off of that. All these dogs came off of Miyagi. All these dogs came off of Knuckles. You know what I mean? You really think that a dog can motherfucking produce that much semen in a year? Think about that, y'all. I want y'all to share this because I'm finna tap some shit. You really think that this dog can produce that much fucking semen in a year?
Man, wait. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, man. What is going on in the background?
Yeah, I was about to say, you got to talk shit. That music ain't working like this.
Bro, that's this whole part of the change, bro. We grown now, bro. You feel me?
Hey, you right. You know, I'm just talking. You know, I gotta talk shit.
Yeah, we grown now, bro. Like, ain't nobody on that. I hate to give them the airtime, but we ain't on that debatable D-line shit, man. We grown. We gonna show them how men act with this shit, man. You feel me? This how men dog men act with this shit. If we draw a crowd And we appreciate, we've been topping out 9 to 10 viewers, 7 right now. No, I don't. And we're going to be grown with it, man. And we're going to let them 7 few viewers and be like, hey, man, this how them dudes not responding to y'all. They over there trying to educate. They over there laughing, having a good time. They laid back on some grown folk shit. You know what I mean? Fuck all that picking, bro. We not in 2nd grade no more, man. This ain't high school. Reason you pick.
For everybody that's listening, if you think your dog's gonna develop cleft palate while they inside the womb, give your dog some real folic acid, give them some broccoli, or give them some spinach. Stay away from the man-made stuff. Why do I say it's man-made? Somebody had to cook it up, press it into a tablet, put it into a bottle, and sell it to you. Go with the natural form. Broccoli's high in folic acid, so is spinach. All right, back to the regular scheduled program.
Okay, and the reason he's saying that because if you give them, there is no given amount of folic acid that you could give a dog because they don't have folic acid tablets for a dog, but they really be for big dogs. So the range and the size in a lot of these dogs for the tablets I think that they do have out now, it's still too much for them. Way too much. And I know if I ain't mistaken, you can only get folic acid tablets from a vet, can't you? Because the dose is too high. Because you can
you can get it from Walmart.
I'm talking about
That's where most people get it from. They get it from Walmart, man. But
wait, stop. No, Negro, stop. No, baby.
Yeah.
Hold on, stop. Hold on. I want you to stop. Hold on, come here. Hold on, stop. You mean to tell me you crazy sons of bitches giving them human folic acid?
Yeah. You know people don't go to the vet and buy that stuff. They go to Walmart and get the Walmart brand, which is Nature's Best folic acid or Nature's Best.
Hold on, say it again. Say it again. And she don't even fuck with dogs. What you gonna do if you get them human folic acid, baby?
You're gonna fucking cause acidity in their system.
Thank you. Oh my God! And what causes cleft palate? Too much acidity, because it does not cause the cartilage to fucking form. So it breaks in a fucking mouth. You have to have natural folic acid. Natural. That's what she, like the homie said.
Broccoli, collard green, spinach.
Because guess what? It's a high additive to fucking human-made folic acid. Citrus.
The same thing with let's go a step further. The same thing with giving bitches that just drop litters tons and all that. You don't need to do all that, man. You don't need to do all that. You want to give your dog a good amount of calcium, make some calcium powders. Every time you eat scrambled eggs, boil up the eggshells, make it into calcium.
Look, hold on. The other thing y'all doing with Tom, I'm gonna tell y'all the only thing you're supposed to do with Tom. That's a motherfucking broke man way of stopping diarrhea in a puppy. For real. That's all it is. You give a puppy when you have diarrhea in the puppy, not to get off subject, it's you give him a tongue. And your adult dog, you give him 2, and that will stop the diarrhea just like it does in you. Because what is it target? It's another thing with regiment, food, and breathing. It targets the inner lining of the fucking stomach walls.
But too much tongues will fuck up a dog's liver too.
It's only for if they got diarrhea. And your dog having diarrhea.
I'm just saying though. I mean, everybody spends so much money in their dogs and for their dogs. Go natural.
Mm-hmm.
Go natural. Go out and get go out and get you some neck bones. You know what I mean? That's a good amount of calcium. I guarantee you got a bitch that just dropped a litter. You toss a beef neck bone to her, man. She gonna tear that thing up, man.
Snap it. And I am a fan of chicken when I do my breeds. You know what I mean? Because y'all know how the council radio go. We blend topics together. Like when my regiment during my breeds is, you know what I'm saying, high bone content, everything. You know what I'm saying, bone marrow. Because what she ate the whole time she was pregnant. She ate what? She ate beef ribs and chicken. I forgot. We fed her sirloin steak when she was pregnant with them. Yeah, we had a lot of muscle. We got her a lot of muscle meat this time. And we had the bone content. I know when we bred and when we bred Moon
What's
and Better
that?
Cat because they didn't make it, but
Cheese.
come here, get your ass in here. I used a
Thank
lot
you.
of bone content then. I gave her more beef ribs towards the end of her pregnancy because that's when I needed calcium. You know what I mean? And I needed the bone marrow. So she ate a lot of bone. She had a lot of bone, rib tips, and a lot of chicken towards the end. You got it. And so towards the end, that's why I felt like I got a lot of good bone structure when it comes to my puppies and when it comes to how they built and how they get through. Is because I made sure she had the right amount. Hey, and this is my 5-month-old puppy. I want to touch on something. Yeah, I'm being a frog again, jumping from lily pad. So the whole time we've been here, right? Y'all heard this puppy, right? That's another thing.
We heard the little devil dog, man.
Huh?
Yeah, we heard the little devil dog.
There's a 5-month-old puppy, but when was the last time you seen a bully puppy actually stand their ground and do something, bro? Like, actually, you know what I mean? And them actually be proud of it. Like, look at my little pup. You know what I mean? Like, when the last time you...
It was the year 2011.
Make Sean that. Hey, that's a bad bitch though. Y'all gotta see Novocaine dogs in person, man. Like if you ever get that, that's a treat, my nigga. Like to just actually be around them and how you can see the bond that man got with his shit, man, and see what he do with him. I mean, that's just something. It's real cool, man. I really want to get with the fellas and crank up, yard to yard again with some real dogs, man, and actually go look at different dogs. And I don't mean just bullies. I'm talking about German Shepherds, Shih Tzus, Giant Schnauzers, you know what I'm saying? And to my Kangal people, because I've got a few new likes and a couple of Kangal people. Because I damn sure I've been fucking with people in Turkey since I got my Facebook back. Shout out to my Turkish viewers. I just want to get with some real dog man, because we gonna close the show. We gonna close the show, but I want to get with some real dog man because I want to see how different eyes can help us fix what we trying to do with our dogs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to ask a German Shepherd breeder how you think I could get a good loin, or if a Kangal breeder tell me, hey, that dog got a lot of big dogs behind it too. Look, that's how we made these dogs, you know what I mean? Because we checked out how elbows stretch or whatever the case may be. I'm just throwing out examples. And I actually want to, like I had a Burmese mountain dog breeder. She looked at Pep and she told me, she said, your underbite ain't going to get too bad. She said, now, with that being your F1, your first foundation, she said, now you just take her to a dog with no problem. She said, now that's your second generation. Your second foundation is 6 to start your first generation. You have to have an F1 and an F2 before you have your first generation, people. So stop listening to these people telling you that they finna go register at F1 like it's a bloodline. You have to have 2 foundations because that means you start going towards a look. You don't get them in 2, 3, 4 breeding.
Show me what you got.
You know what I mean? When you got 2 foundations, which are F1 and an F2, then the F2's children are your first generation. And there on out you go, because by that time you will have 7 generations. What make you be purple ribbon PR? Okay. And that's why I said I want other dog men to go, because I'm out of this fallacy that's said into the American bully world. That's what it is. It's just a fantasy, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't what it needs to be or what it's supposed to be. That's why the dogs ain't never they not never looking constant. You know what I mean? Like and y'all check out some of the the recap videos and the pictures of Welcome to Virginia, where there was a Devil Den's dog by the name of Wody. Then you got King Ragnar. The dogs look similar but not related. Related somewhere, but with the owner's research, they're not related up close. And there was a consistent look and a consistent time. But now, as anything in the world, money gets in the way and the visions get fuzzy. No. You feel me? So then it becomes on opinions and separate visions instead of a collective vision to make one dog. and it just and then there's no to where I can say better versions of these dogs anymore. I just tell people there are people who have nice standards and you got people that got working standards. There's no such thing as a classic. But with that being said,
I got a bleeder. Tell me what you got.
yeah, that's how it starts. That's how it starts. You'll rarely see me up under that shit. My homegirl, she mentioned me under some shit, but like I told her, I appreciate it. Like, a lot of people come to me wanting to use Kato. It'd be funny. You know what I mean? A lot of people come to me wanting to use him. I just don't like the female they be having. You know what I mean? I didn't buy him for everybody. I bought him for me. Y'all rarely see me put him up for stud. You hear me? Rarely. Rarely. But when people come, it's just never what I want. It's never what I want. It's not even worth. Some of them dogs not even worth getting money off. You know, and that's what it is. Y'all gotta look at the quality in your pick. That's what I say. Like anything in life, once money get involved, it get poison. So now with anything with poison, what happens? Things start becoming piss poor to where they just die. So I want y'all to look at your dog. May it be a Magoo dog, may it be a Miyagi dog, may it be a Rocco son, a Magoo daughter, a Shih Tzu, a lab, a motherfucking a four-legged human with dog breath. You know, I want you to look at that dog and be like, hey, why do I feed you?